Hello and welcome back to Develop an Aircraft series. So where did we leave off? A little recap, shall we say? We finished modelling this cockpit area as well as the fuselage, so it's all one object again. Don't worry about this little bit up here. I'm not sure what happened there. I think it's there's a double vertice or something in there, and we've dragged it across. But the only way really to find out, even if I went into edit mode, I can't see. Even if I went into wireframe mode, you won't see. See nothing jumping out at me. So that's what we've done so far. Let me just go back out of that. Yours will probably look a lot better than mine. But today we're going to move on, and today we are going to start detailing, such as we're going to be doing the landing gear here and here. And if we press number 1, you can see where a part of the gear, call it gearbox. No, it's not gearbox like, but you know, where the gears come out from under here. And then we're going to tinker around with the engines, I believe, just to make them look make them look a bit better if we have time. But what we're going to concentrate on is the landing gear today, and then we'll be able to decide what we're doing after that. First thing we're going to do is, though, I want to try something. So we're going to try a subsurf division on that object. Do it by 2 just to see what it looks like. See, now that's really noticeable, isn't it? I'm wondering, doing a loop cut. There we go. Maybe that fixes it. No, I'm not sure what's going on, because you can really see the difference. You won't see the difference like when you come to painting it. It should cover all that. I say, but it looks like a sort of form of stretching. But yeah, so I just added subsurf to make it look a lot smoother, make it look a bit more airplaney. So I'm just going to apply that, and we'll work out what the problem is later. But our primary concentration today is the wheels. Now, the engines will come back to. Another thing we need to do is we need to sort out all our objects here on the right here, on the top right. So we've got this one here. It's still just called circle. So if I change that to body or fuselage, actually, yeah, we'll call it fuselage, and press A. So what we're going to do now is we're going to select this top cube that we modelled. We're going to right click the body, and I want to join. Do I want to join? Yeah, no, yes, no. Yes, we'll join that. So Control J, and that becomes one object, and we'll select. We'll not sort that because we're still going to work on that bit. The next thing is we're going to parent objects to the main fuselage, and that is really hideous looking. I wonder if it's normals. Let me see. Where's don't want to deform it. I don't want to. I wonder if it's the normals. There we go. Look, that could be the problem right there. See the way it's all stretched out. So if we grab these, yes. There's our problem. There's double vertices. If I move him back to there, move that one back to there, to there. Okay, so I figured out the problem. We have vertices there that we don't want by the looks of it. So like double loop cuts, if you could probably fathom. You can see them all over the show. Now I'm going to try something stupid. Delete vertice. Just press third. No, tab. Yeah, that's alright. So there's loads. There's loads. Look. That one, for example. I don't want that. Get rid of that. Get rid of that. Where do you belong? We can delete them without ruining the actual mesh. If I delete that, that will make a big hole, and we don't want that. So that line and that line, so it should really be here and here. So if I now select that and delete the edge, delete the edge, we still have that face, that face, that face, that, and that. Yeah, this is going to take a bit of work. I'm actually going to do this off camera. So I am. You can see what it's done. It's sort of, you should just see it's distorted out. We'll fix. I'll fix that off camera, and it will sort all this horribleness out. But that's what's wrong with that model. Hopefully yours didn't have the same issue, but if it did, there's nothing I can. You'll have to either restart, or not even restart. You can. If you go into edit mode and wireframe mode, and say you select these ones here, you can separate it to create it to make it into its own object, like we did when we were doing the cockpit, and then you can delete all this and then redo it. That's what you can do. But I'll let you play around with that. Another thing I want to do is to put all these individual items as their own individual objects. So how do we do that? These two have to be one. These ones will have to be paired, and then these two will be paired to the body as well as the fuselage. The wing will be paired to the fuselage. That engines will be paired to that. That will join onto that. So what we're going to do is we select this first, the rudder, select it with the tail fin, press P or Control P, and then set parent to object. Do the same for the tail ailerons, and then select that and that, and do Control P and set to object. So if you see the dotted line, you know you're doing this correctly. This and this will be like that, so we're keeping it all together so it's all nice and close. Then we'll do the wing, Control P to object. So as you can see on the right hand side now, everything has gone a lot smaller. It's a lot easier to work with. The next is to do the side ailerons, so we're going to set the parent to the object, click the aileron, shift click the wing, Control P to object. So that's all that. So when you come into the wait, there we go. When you come to the drop downs, if you click plus, you see that the fuselage has the tail. If you open up the tail includes the rudder, the tail wing, as well as the tail ailerons. Okay, and then you've got the wing, and that has its left and right ailerons, and that will also have the engines when we do that. So we've done that. The only other thing I've got to do now is set the origin to geometry, which is roughly where the center of gravity is. That's about right. Well, it'll be further back, but we'll set that when we get to it. Next thing to do is the wheels. I think we'll start off with the nose wheel, and then we'll work our way around. So we're going to swing the camera around to the bottom of the aircraft, Put the 3D cursor here. Is that about right? No, it needs to go about there. That's just where we're going to draw a box. Okay, so side view, Shift A, mesh, cube, scale down. Go into wireframe mode, zoom in so we can see what we're doing. And I roughly want it about that. Doesn't have to be exact, obviously, because you already know where. So we've done that. I'm also going to need to check out some images just to make sure. So we'll get good old Google rocking. Oh, hello, this is interesting. I don't seem to have an internet connection, but I did a moment ago. Let me see. Let's go to YouTube. No, right. Hang on. I can fix this brave and quickly. This might be my TP links giving me a bit of hassle. I was having a bit of bother with the internet before I started this, so let's do that. Let's see if this comes back on, which it does. F5 to refresh, and our survey says thinking about it. Still thinking about it. Seems I've got an internet problem. Oh, no, there we go. There we go. We're back online. Yes, I know. Just reload. There we go. Right, so here we go. There's a nice one. Oh, there's an even better one. So the aircraft's landing gear, which doesn't show you on the blueprint, so we're going to have to be a bit more, how should I say, scoodly about it. It only shows you this bit, and if you can see from this image, there's actually two, and it goes to about there, the nose. What's this show you? This just gives me dimensions. Alright, so we know what we've got to do. Anyway, so it comes to roughly, I'd say about here. So if we scale this on the y-axis, stretch it out, and move it back. There's on y again, just a smidge to about there. I'm happy with that. I think that looks okay. So we go underneath, move it to the center of the fuselage, move it down. Now we're not using this box, well we can do, but we're not going to. We will no, we will use this box. This box will house the nose gear when we get it to do what we want it to do. So Control 7 will get a slap bang underneath. Press Z key because I don't want the knife tool to cut absolutely everything. So you click your box, shift click your fuselage, stay underneath, hit tab, and then we want knife project. No other objects can be used for projection. Why not? Is it because you're only selecting the nose? Why are you only selecting the nose? Knife project. Does that have to be? Okay, okay. No, normally it just sort of cuts the outline. You've seen it do it before. It might be because that's a box. Right, let me see. Move the box out of the way, do Shift A, and we'll do a plane this time. And we'll move our box back in. use that as my guide. So S and X, and we'll bring that down to about there. Put that in the middle, move it up to the middle. It's S and Y. So it near enough matches. That is a nice fit. S and X, and bring them both in to there. Move my box out the way, and we're going to move this pane out the way, and then I'm going to go click, shift click, tab 7, control 7, A, left project. There we go. So it's now cut out the line, the gaps. Well, where the nose gear is going to go, roughly. Which is fine. This is what I want. So I'm gonna not delete. Tab out of that. Tab out of that. Delete that because I don't need that anymore. Into that. Just tab. And what I want to do is match my box, and then we'll delete. I find using a face tool is probably best for this. And if we do control 7, we can like box select a pile, just to make the process a little less painful. Shift that, and that, and that, and that, and then do B for these ones, just to get all of them. Trying to keep as selected as possible. Just select all them, we'll select that and that and that and that and that. That's 2 in there. There we go. Get some more. Don't want to leave any untouched, you see. Not selecting that one for some reason. Any that we miss, we can get again, so we don't need to worry about it. Just keep things symmetrical, and then delete edges and faces. So as you see, there's still loads to be done. Delete. I'll delete them vertices. I had to make sure I didn't delete the ones I didn't want to delete, which I did. As you can see, we selected some from the top, which we don't want to do. This is the painful task. So we'll select the ones we want. So it shows me that this mesh was doubled, and then when which you want when you're doing the VC, but because we're not doing the VC, we don't want that. So we're selecting all these. I'm sure there's an easier way to select them all. I'm going to just delete them. I'm going to delete you. I don't want to delete all you, but we can fix that. So get rid of all these. And we're exposing the inside of the fuselage. Oh, I want that one. I want that. I don't want that. And we'll delete that. We'll delete that. that. Select these 3. Oh, not you. So we're getting there. If we messed around with the view, we would probably get the border selector working, but I just want to be a bit more with this, because I don't want to delete things I'm not deleting, if you understand. I've selected them. I've not selected anything else that I can't see. That's it, I did down at the back there, but that's alright, because if we press B and hold down shift, we can deselect it all. So we can delete them. Press Z to go back in so I don't confuse myself, and we'll rinse and we'll repeat this process. So select them, and it's not giving me anything. Why? Okay, we'll go to lines. This is the conspicuous bit. Has to be done though. Oh, I wonder if it's easier in vertice mode. Because look, all those vertices just sitting there, not being used. Right, so if I go B, select all of them. Lovely doubly, which means I've selected these ones at the back. So press B, shift and select. B, shift and select. Since we have some here that don't. There we go. Delete those vertices. Press Z again, so we can see what we're doing. We need to reconnect those vertices up and create those faces. Same here. We also need to delete all of them. So I will obviously do the rest of that off camera. So I will, just so that we know we're going to get them all. Because it's going to take a while to do this, and then find out where else I've collected, and get rid of that. Looks like we've got our next door. And those vertices, so we're getting there slowly but surely. So we're going to fix this. I'm going to fix that. And then it's just a matter of selecting those vertices and doing face. And then selecting these vertices, doing a face, which covers all that. So we're going to do that, select all clear off these vertices, and then essentially what we're doing is, when we've got our lovely hole, Control 7, select your box, slide it over. So you can see that we've took off a lot more than we intended. This is easily fixed, but that's something I'll do off camera, and you guys can tinker and learn from yourself. And we're gonna scale that down to a little smidge of a big, and put this up here, like so. Rotate just a smidge. Rotate a bit more, and that's where that's got to sit. And then obviously you'll reskin the gaps. Select your box again, go into edit mode, press A, press Control R to do a loop cut, and just slap bang in the middle. I'm also move it down just to make it easier to see. And then what we're going to do is you select this face, or these 4 vertices, and you want to do Shift J or Control J. No, how do you? I need to separate it. P. Separate the selection. So that is on its own. You can pull it down, and as you see, you got your gap. And then all we've got to do is the same on this side. So press P and selection. And what we're left with then is our box, but it also has a door. So if we go that and that, and I want to what was the key for that? There was a key to it would set your 3D cursor directly in the center. Where is it? Weight tools? No, it wasn't weight tools. Options. Grease pencil. No, it wasn't grease pencil. Can't remember what it's called. Is it Control W? No. Shift? No. Trying to remember what it was. We'll just have to ask the good friend Google. Move Blender, move 3D cursor to sense. No, move 3D cursor. Help if I can spell, won't it? Between 2. There you go. Between 2 vertices. There was a way to do it, and I can't remember. Oh, there we go. Shift S. See, I knew it was something. I knew it was there. So Shift S, and then cursor to selected, which means it right bang in the middle. Tab out. Set origin to 3D cursor. This means now, if we hit rotate, and I think it is on the Z axis or the rotate on the X axis. I'll get it. Rotate on the Y axis. There we go. So it moves on the door. That's meant to anyway, but it's a bit of a pain at the minute. It should just open and close like that. That's one way of doing an animation. Another way is to put in 2 hinges, like inside the box, hidden out the way. So if I move that over there and put it in here and then here and then link them all up together, you can move them to where you want to move them. So we're going to select all 3 objects, and we're just going to put it upside in here for now because we're not doing animations as of yet. Well, we will be doing them very shortly. We'll just move these bad boys out of the way like that, because what we're going to do now is the landing gear, and I've got to do some more editing on those doors before we're finalised with them. So we're going to work on the box now. No objects are selected, so Shift A, and we're going to do a mesh, and we're going to do a cylinder. I'm going to scale down to about that. I'm going to scale on the Z axis to make it slightly longer. Now this is out of proportion at the moment, but we can change all that whenever it comes to sorting out the filing detail. If you can, and if you wanted, you could go ATR 72 landing gear, and wouldn't you know it, there's blueprints for it. Isn't that fantastic? Let's see, where can we find a decent one? That is the X-Plane version there. I'm sure there's one somewhere. I remember seeing one somewhere. I mean, you can even use a normal image if you can, but we won't. Well, probably will end up using a normal. I'm sure there's one out here somewhere that I could use for a frame of reference. Probably that one. I'll use that one. Yeah, I'll use that one. So I'm going to put it over here on my second screen. Let's see if I can get a larger image of it. And that's not the one I was looking at. It's now showing me something else. Where is that landing gear gone? I'm not going to spend ages looking for it. Okay, goodbye. No, goodbye. I'll find another one. That's not for an ATR. That's a Boeing. You know, that one will do. It's giving me the detail I want. View image. Right, so how much detail you want to put into your landing gear is up to you. I'm just going to leave it as it is because I'm running out of time. So we've got our stick, and then you've got to think about how the length of said stick. So there, because you have to remember the animations, and then obviously once you get a more detailed looking, you can have like different connections and God knows what else you fancy doing. So I need another cylinder. I want to rotate that on x-axis by 90 degrees. No, I want to rotate it on the z by 90 degrees. I want to scale it down, small as I dare. Zoom in, move it to there, move it to there. I want to scale on the x-axis just a bit. Put there, scale on the x-axis a bit more. And that'll be very basic. That's a very basic representation. You've got shocks and all that. You can actually animate it. But I'm not going to go into that detail. I might do a separate video once I know more about it. So we've done that. Shift A. Torus. Rotate on the Z by 90. No. Rotate X by 90. Rotate Z by 90. There we go. Scale that bad boy down. It's a bit thin side, so we'll scale on the X, make it a bit fatter. And there's a wheel. You can do the detailing on there to make it look more pretty. We'll duplicate it, stick it on the other side, because these do have two. And we'll leave it there for now, because I need to... It's going to take me longer than 40 minutes to redo this, to do this properly, and I didn't realise this was going to take me so long. So if this is going to be the last video for this week, and the next one will be on Monday morning. Monday morning, sometimes. That's the plan anyway. And we'll actually go into this in a lot more detail. You know, if it takes me 5 episodes to do it to a good detail, then so be it. So that's that. This has been Astralis. Again, I hope you are enjoying what I'm trying to do here. If you're following along, making a creation of your own, then by all means let me see, and I'll comment, and we can go from there. So until Monday, have a nice weekend. Don't drink too much if you're drinking, and thank you for watching.